Got cut up there on that last one. So in this podcast that I was listening to, like I said, he references this between chapter 5 and chapter 6, 7 different times. Nehemiah is going to pray for God to remember what he's done. And you can look at this maybe depending on your situation and out of context, you can look at this as maybe like a prideful kind of prayer. But you can't pray this prayer with confidence unless you know that you've been living full speed for God's glory. You're not going to rack up a list of selfish endeavors and pray, God, remember me just for exactly what I've done. Things won't end so hot for you if you're living that kind of life and praying that kind of prayer. So I feel like this is a true testament to the guy that Nehemiah really is, sold out for God. He is completely sold out. He knows God will favor him where it really counts. So I think as we finish here, the question that I want to keep going back to for each and every one of us as we go out this week is, what are we doing with the opportunities that God is giving us? Are we stepping out? Are we loving people and using money to help us do it? Or are we loving money and using people to help us get more of it? Are we worshiping wealth, or are we allowing our wealth to foster our worship? And lastly, are we taking advantage of opportunities to exploit situations for our own benefit? Or are we trying to benefit the kingdom? Are we trying to benefit the church? Are we trying to benefit our faith family? Are we trying to benefit even the world, just in the eyes of God and the view of God in the eyes of the world? How can we step out and be that example? How do we display the knowledge of the wisdom of God to the world, to the world that's at this point in our age is struggling with a lot of things, has a lot of questions that are not answered, and really can't be answered by the world. We're in a very difficult situation here with the current health crisis. So I think it's probably more important this week than it has been, maybe ever. But here's some questions for you to ponder. If you guys want to respond back to these in the group text, that would be awesome. But think about these this week. How have you taken advantage of God's opportunities that he's given to you, that is, for personal profit rather than God? Are we taking advantage of opportunities that God's setting out there for us and not really using them to the benefit of God's plans? We're using them more to our own. Second one, how has God met physical, emotional, and financial needs in your life? How can this lead us to be examples in grace this week for others who are struggling? And then finally, who is someone that's hurting you can reach out to? Reach out for God this week. Think about that person this week as you go out. Who's the person that I can reach out to? Who's the person I'm going to step up and show God's glory, God's mercy, God's grace? Not that spirit of fear, but that spirit of love, that spirit of self-confidence, that spirit of joy, all of those things that God's just given us that we don't deserve. How can we display those to others this week as we go out? Thank you guys for enduring my mini videos, and hopefully we can take something significant away from this. Love you guys.